Hi everyone, welcome back to Storytime Recaps. In this video, I'm going to recap one of the films from 2019, Snatchers. Without any further, let's get started. The film opens with Sarah, a status-obsessed high school student, discussing an upcoming party with her classmates in biology class. Ever since she broke up with Haley, her childhood best friend, she has changed. She is always trying to fit in with other groups of girls, so she goes around with them. In the classroom, Sarah even makes fun of Haley's inquiries in an attempt to make her feel inferior. However, once school ends, Sarah's boyfriend, Skylar, returns after a trip to Mexico. She tries to chat with him and joke around with him, but he seems distant and claims that he has changed. Later that day, Sarah is at home. Her mom briefly appears, knocking on the door and trying to talk, but Sarah brushes her off, embarrassed and irritated. Her mom's trying to connect, but Sarah's too focused on her image and Skylar. Since she finds this so bothersome, she visits his house at night and seduces him. They end up sharing a bed, and during their sexual encounter, Skylar exhibits some strange behaviors. The following day, she arrives at school feeling confident and well-dressed. The entire school looks at her in amazement during one of her moments. However, just as she is ready to kiss Skylar, she ends up throwing up all over the floor, ruining everything. Sarah's long-distance friend, Haley, stops by to see how she's doing. However, Sarah acts as though nothing is wrong in front of her pals. That evening, she takes a pregnancy test, and when the results are negative, she feels more at ease and goes to bed. In the morning, Sarah discovers that she is pregnant and has a baby bump, which means she is almost due. In a panic, she jumps through the window to keep her mother from seeing. She then attempts to phone Kiana, who is not prepared to hear her catch up on the newest rumors circulating at school. When she is at a loss for what to do, she goes to Haley, who is upset that she hasn't spoken to her since her second year and is now seeking help. After they discuss the past, Haley agrees to assist her. Since she had just seen her yesterday, she is also terrified of the pregnancy. Sarah declines Haley's suggestion that they call Skylar. She informs Haley that the baby's father is not Skylar. Haley then thinks of a way to keep it a secret. As she and Haley visit a free clinic, Sarah fills out a form. Haley keeps questioning her about the baby's paternity. She makes some educated assumptions about the father, but Sarah won't discuss it, so Haley ultimately realizes it was Skylar based on her response. After that, Sarah enters the examination room and talks to a nurse who doesn't think she became pregnant overnight. Afterwards, the nurse looks into Sarah's womb using an ultrasound. The ultrasound screen eventually displays an odd sight that makes the nurse panic. Then, another strange thing happens. Sarah starts experiencing severe contractions. To assist her in giving birth, the nurse promptly finds her doctor. After giving birth, an alien monster emerges from Sarah. The doctor is instantly killed by the alien, which then explodes his head and begins to bounce around the room until it destroys the light. Then it begins to dominate the nurse by stinging the back of her neck. Haley and Sarah are frightened, but they manage to get away after knocking the nurse unconscious with a defibrillator. Everyone is killed by the alien attack. A second oddity occurs. Sarah is still pregnant, most likely with a different alien. A kick from inside Sarah's belly freaks out both Haley and Sarah. Sarah doesn't want anyone to find out, even though Haley advises them to call the police. They go home and try to get Sarah to give birth on the kitchen counter while pointing it toward the food processor. But Sarah is unable to do so and their plan fails. She pushes, but nothing comes of it, which complicates the situation. Sarah's mother returns home. While Haley diverts her attention, Sarah hides behind the counter until her mother leaves. Right after Sarah's mother leaves, Haley thinks of another reason to visit Dave, a strange man who has expertise forcing an animal into giving birth. The movie scene then changes to Oscar, a policeman who just so happens to be on duty that day, as he shows up at the clinic. Terrified by what he sees, he summons an autopsy team and an ambulance. As she takes her parents' car to meet Dave, Haley worries about the first alien they left in the clinic and what he may do to other people. The first alien that Sarah and Haley gave birth to, however, is currently following closely behind them and is controlling a religious abortion protester that they spotted as they entered the clinic. The alien tries to jump inside the car but misses them by a few inches, allowing them to escape. So when Officer Oscar finds the form Sarah filled out, she was the last person to enter the clinic, he assumes she was involved in what happened. When they meet him in his trailer, they tell Dave the whole story. The whole process fascinates him, and he speculates about what might be within Sarah's womb. Additionally, he inquires about any recent actions Skylar may have taken. Since she is sick of the rumors, Sarah then tells him to remove it out of her body. Dave is getting ready when Skylar calls Sarah and invites her over. His intense desire to have intimacy with her is overwhelming him. After stating that she's sick, Sarah hangs up. Despite her concerns about Skylar's actions, Sarah decides not to discuss it with him. In contrast, Haley and Sarah argue about Sarah's decision to keep her pregnancy a secret from him, despite everything that's happening. Meanwhile, Dave arrives and prepares to carry out his procedure. He puts Sarah in front of a machine and uses a big syringe to inject a uteronic drug into her uterus, causing contractions and eventually labor. However, following the injection, nothing occurred. Sarah demands that he repeat the action. However, Officer Ruiz shows up at Dave's property and arrests them all before he gives her another injection. He used the license plate details to hunt down Haley's parents' car. After receiving a call from the police station, Sarah's mother finds out that her daughter is pregnant. When Sarah's mother shows up at the police station, she yells at her daughter for growing up so quickly. In response, Sarah states that she also became pregnant at the same age. After several disputes, Officer Oscar, who thinks Sarah made up the alien story because she feels embarrassed, has to take Sarah's mother outside and persuade her to help her teenage daughter. Although Sarah's mother talks to her daughter and apologizes, no one is even remotely convinced by her story. In the meantime, Sarah was followed to the police station by the first alien. It enters the police station through its pet, frightening all of the officers there. When all armed officers start shooting at him, the partner is killed. However, the alien swiftly attacks everyone, hopping from one to the next. Sarah, Haley, and Sarah's mother dash to the back of the station and find Dave, who is locked in a cell and using the restroom. After Sarah and Haley retell their story to Sarah's mother, Dave shares his hypothesis that the first alien in Sarah's womb communicated with the other one in some way. Dave also notes that the uteronic is located in the evidence room and that everyone must first go via the main corridor before they can enter the evidence room. During their journey, they are stopped by Officer Oscar, the only surviving officer in the entire station. While they were attempting to explain their strategy, the alien attacked him. He tries to touch it with a pencil, but it overcomes him. Just as it was ready to leap on them, Dave struck the alien with a bat, and he instructed them to proceed to the evidence room while he kept the alien away. The alien quickly took over another cop and killed Dave. Then it takes over Sarah's mother. Before Haley can finish getting the uteronic ready, she is knocked unconscious. The moment the alien approaches Sarah, she begins to give birth. After giving birth to a second, larger alien child, she eventually passes out. When Sarah awakens, it is at Skylar's house. When she asks about her mother, Skylar is directly in front of her. While a party is taking place at Kiana's house, she texts Skylar but doesn't receive a response. However, after hearing everything that happened at the police station, Skylar is going crazy. After Sarah attempts to calmly explain what occurred, Haley, who believes Skylar is involved in all of this, approaches him aggressively. Sarah becomes enraged by this and gets into a brief argument with Haley. After a few minutes, she calms down. Sarah discovers Skylar's laptop, on which he logs his activities. After making amends, Sarah and Haley decide to go see Haley's brother, who works for a security firm, to get help unlocking Skylar's locked laptop. The second alien, who is now taking control of Sarah's mother, attacks a shop close to a petrol station on the opposite side of town. A lot of people are killed in the attack, and the entire area is covered in blood splatters. The store is used by the aliens, who also construct a nesting nest. When the only survivor of the attack calls the police station, Officer Oscar, who is still alive but has lost one eye, answers. When he gets to the station, everything is covered in alien liquid. Back at Haley's brother's house, Sarah and Haley have gained access to Skylar's computer with Haley's brother's help. They discover a tape that documents Skylar's activities during his time in Mexico. In the video, Skylar breaks an old Mayan object, releasing a gas that he breathes in. Skylar was constantly horny since the gas had turned him into a carrier of the alien seed. It is the first alien that takes the second, an immature female, to the breeding place. The first alien has attended Kiana's party, and they discover that he intends to use additional humans for mating. In order to kill the first alien and then destroy the alien nest, they decide to attend the celebration. Following their arrival at the party, Sarah and Haley attempt to warn everyone about what happened to them, but they are ridiculed by everyone. After breaking into one of the rooms, they see Kiana and Skylar mating. Before he can finish, they separate them and knock Skylar unconscious. In contrast, the first alien has arrived at the party and taken possession of one of the students. It starts jumping from object to object and assaulting everyone. It possesses Skylar at one point, knocking Haley unconscious and nearly strangling Sarah, but Haley regains consciousness and tasers Skylar, causing the alien to leap into a fruit grinder. Sarah hastily shuts the lid and activates the machine, causing it to be totally crushed. The only thing left to do is to destroy the nest where the female alien is holding Sarah's mother. Sarah makes the decision to head to Kiana's basement. Once she gets to the basement, her mother is plastered to the wall in an unfamiliar fluid. After saving her mother, she faces the enormously large and now pregnant female alien. She is attacked by the female alien, who nearly wins the battle. Sarah, on the verge of blowing the place up with a lighter, chooses to fight back. She finds a Uterotone inside a bag and throws it into the alien, causing its pregnant body to burst. At last, Haley breaks into the house and saves Sarah. As the film comes to a close, an ambulance arrives on the scene to tend to the injured, while Sarah and Haley embrace. In a credit scene, 2 federal officials bind Skylar and take her to an unidentified destination. Thanks for watching, and remember to turn on your notifications to watch more movie recaps like this one.